Your Chase Ultimate Reward points are more valuable than you think. In this video, I'll go over 5 practical ways to maximize your Chase Ultimate Reward points, and by practical, I mean these are achievable to the regular person. These redemptions are semi-easy and a more common way to redeem your Chase Ultimate Reward points, but still offer a good value for your Chase Ultimate Reward points. My name is Max, and I help people maximize their airline miles, hotel points, and credit card points. If you're interested in any Chase cards at any point in this video, my links are down in the description. Using those links helps support my work. Now, let's get into it. There are multiple ways to redeem Chase Ultimate Reward points for travel, but in most cases, the best way is to transfer Chase points to one of Chase's 14 transfer partners. If you have no idea how to transfer Chase points, I'll link the video in the description and up here as well. As a reminder, you need to have the Chase Sapphire Preferred or the Chase Sapphire Reserve or the Inc. Business Preferred to be able to transfer points out to these 14 transfer partners. Some transfer partners are better than others, so let's go over 5 of my favorite transfer partners in no particular order. First up, let's look at these hotel transfer partners. Out of all 3 of them, there's only one that really stands out, and that's Hyatt. The Chase Points transfers to Hyatt pipeline is one that's often talked about, and it's one that I often take advantage of. It's actually where most of my Chase Points goes to. Your Chase Points go a lot further when you transfer them to Hyatt versus IHG One Rewards or Marriott Bonvoy, which are the other 2 hotel transfer partners that Chase Points transfers to. There are 2 main reasons for this. Hyatt has a fixed award chart, and it's predictable. These hotels have off-peak standard or peak rates. For example, this Category 5 hotel is 17,000 points a night for off-peak, 20,000 for standard, and 23,000 for peak. No matter what the cash rate is, it'll always be between 17,000 or 23,000 points a night. No more and no less. For example, the Lila Ventana Big Sur nightly rates can go sometimes between $2,000 and $3,000 a night. If you redeem points there, the stay will cost 35,000 to 45,000 points per night. Even if the hotel would cost over $5,000 or $10,000 a night, it'll still be the same amount of fixed points. With the fixed award chart, it's much easier to predict how many points it will cost for a Hyatt stay versus how many points it would cost for a Marriott and IHG dynamic pricing. So your Chase Points goes much further when you transfer them over to Hyatt. Next up is Iberia Business Class. Iberia has one of the cheapest rates for international business class. They charge just 34,000 points one way in business class from the East Coast and the Midwest to Madrid. This is during off-peak times. Sometimes these flights can be around $2,000 to $3,000 each way, and by transferring 34,000 Chase Points over to Iberia, you can book an international business class seat that has lie flat seats, full meal service, and airport lounge access as well. It's the full business class experience at an economy price. If you want to fly from the West Coast, it'll just be a bit more at 42,500 miles. I'll link the tutorial how to book up here and also down in the description as well. Before we go into the next 3, I want to thank today's sponsor, BetterHelp. Is something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. Starting therapy can be hard. The right therapist for you may not be in your area, and some people like myself find face-to-face interaction therapy a little uncomfortable. With BetterHelp, you can have your therapy session as a phone call, as a video chat, or even via messaging if you prefer that. Whatever is the most comfortable version of therapy for you. BetterHelp can match you to one of the over 30,000 therapists in their network, which gives you access to a wider range of expertise than the therapist that may be available in your area. So if you think you might benefit from therapy, consider BetterHelp. Click on the link down in the description or visit the URL on the screen. Once you're registered to get started, you'll fill out a questionnaire to help assess your specific needs, and then you'll get matched with your therapist, and in most cases within 24 hours or less. You'll then be able to schedule a therapy session at a time that's convenient to you. Talking to someone is one of the most important things you can do for yourself, and finding a therapist that you can trust can be a daunting task. BetterHelp can definitely help you solve that. The link is in the description, and clicking on that link helps support this channel and also gets you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp, so you connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring today's video, and now let's continue with the best ways to maximize your Chase Ultimate Reward points. So next up is Flying Blue in economy or business class. Flying Blue is the loyalty program for Air France and KLM. So if you're looking to take a trip to Europe, Flying Blue can sometimes have award pricing that can be surprisingly low. Occasionally, you can find business class award availability for 55,000 miles and economy for 15,000 miles, Besides offering lower redemption rates, Flying Blue also announces monthly promo rewards, and these provide discounted redemption rates on specific routes with discounts ranging from 25% to 50%. If you get lucky and the stars align, sometimes there are transfer bonuses that you can stack on top of an already good redemption rate. So there are a lot of opportunities to capitalize on a good redemption rate and then stack some additional promotions and bonuses on top to make a good redemption an even better redemption when it comes to Flying Blue. I have a few videos on Flying Blue and the promotions, which I'll link up here and also down in the description as well. So next up is British Airways to fly American Airlines and other OneWorld airlines. So this one might sound a little weird for those who aren't familiar with airline partnerships and code share. So you can't transfer Chase points to American Airlines, but what you can do instead is transfer Chase points to an American Airlines partner like British Airways and book American Airline flights that way. This works because American Airlines is part of the OneWorld Alliance, an alliance that British Airways is also part of, and when airlines are part of the same alliance, it means you can book award flights between them, well, in most cases. The only tricky thing is finding the award availability, which means that not all American Airlines flights are bookable on the British Airways website. If you do find the American Airlines flights on British Airways, you can sometimes score a pretty good deal. For example, from the West Coast to Hawaii is 13,000 British Airways Avios. That means you need to transfer 13,000 Chase points over to British Airways to book a one-way ticket to Hawaii. If you want to get to the Caribbean, you can start in Florida and get to a place like Aruba for just 9,000 British Airways Avios. Flying coast to coast like LAX to New York is 13,000 British Airways Avios. And if you want to hop down to Mexico, Dallas to Cancun is just 9,000 British Airways Avios. I'll link the tutorial on how to book up here and also in the description as well. And since British Airways is a OneWorld airline, you can also book other OneWorld partners like Qatar Airways through British Airways. The redemption rates are pretty reasonable as well. 70,000 British Airways Avios between the US to Doha, and that's if you can find the award availability though. From the US to Tokyo, you can fly Japan Airlines business class for 72,500 British Airways Avios, which is not too bad. Next up is Air Canada to book Star Alliance partner business class and economy tickets. I like Air Canada Aeroplan for Chase points for a couple reasons. It's the best overall Star Alliance option for Chase points. If you want to fly a Star Alliance airline like any of these with Chase points, transferring your Chase points to Air Canada in most cases would be the best option. Air Canada tends to be a better option than transferring your Chase points to other Star Alliance partners like Singapore Airlines or even United. For example, if I want to fly business class to Singapore on Singapore Airlines would charge me a lot of miles. If I want to book the same exact flight through Air Canada Aeroplan, it's much cheaper. Why would you transfer Chase points over to Singapore Airlines when you can save some points and transfer your Chase points over to Air Canada Aeroplan to book the same exact flight? I always recommend comparing Air Canada Aeroplan, United, and Singapore to see which airline programs require the fewest amount of points. Most of the time, you'll notice that Air Canada's redemptions are better than Singapore Airlines and United. Air Canada Aeroplan also has a lot of partner airlines that are outside of the Star Alliance too. And here is the full list. So having a lot of these non-alliance partners makes Air Canada Aeroplan points super versatile, which is another reason why I like Air Canada Aeroplan points. Those are my top 5 in no particular order. If you want more ways to maximize your credit card points, make sure you check out this playlist over here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you can do me a big favor and hit the thumbs up and make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, it helps out my channel and it helps me continue creating content like this for you. All of my links are down in the description. And yeah, I think that's it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.